Yo, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Today we're gonna be reacting on Are you scared of being hunted? Are you scared of being hunted? I will be terrified if I was hunted.
This video contains content that some might find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yo, if you get scared too easily, bro, click off the video
Technology is a
ASAP.
wonderful thing that provides connection in a fast world. A video chat between two people worlds apart, for example. But what if that connection is not one that you asked for? A connection to a person one step ahead with nefarious intentions.
Yo, if I was ever sitting around in my crib and like sometimes I have like the windows open, right? Not the windows open, but like the blinds up, like so I can look outside, get some good sunlight. If if a person happens to take a picture of me just relaxing in my crib, I think that's like one of my biggest fear right there. Cause I wouldn't even know what to do. I would call the cops, but the cops wouldn't really even do anything. They would just like give you some advice or something, but they don't. I don't know if they would actually do anything, but nah, they probably would. But this right here is like one of my biggest like fear.
For our narrator, he finds himself in a game of cat and mouse where the roles are still to be decided. I'm Ryan Bergara, and this is the season finale of Are You Scared? A show where I tell my friend Shane Madej the internet's scariest stories that may or may not be true. Now, I have not read this story before,
I think this
and
might be
neither
a
has
true one.
Shane. So lock your doors, turn off the lights, and let's see if we can make it until the end.
I should have done this tonight.
The Phone Stalker.
I'll do one later.
This happened on a warm Saturday evening when I was 14 years old. Everything I'm about to tell you is true. I've lived on the same corner in a small suburban town since I was young. It's a nice, normal community, barring an occasional scream or a gunshot ringing out in the night. I live with
What? This is a normal community, but you hear gunshots during
I've
the
lived
night?
on the same corner in a small suburban town since I was young. It's a nice, normal community, barring an occasional scream or a gunshot ringing out.
Yeah, so randomly at night you just been having occasionally some people be screaming and you be hearing gunshots. I don't what?
In the night.
Okay, scream, all right, but gunshots? I never heard
I live
gunshots.
with my mom,
where I live.
stepdad, and sister,
Where
but
I
since
live.
she's 9 years older than me, I have always felt like the only kid in the house. The age gap taught me self-reliance in terms of keeping myself occupied and entertained. I was also a nerdy little boy, not exactly into the party scene, so sneaking out was never a temptation. All that to say, my parents never worried about leaving me home alone, which is exactly why they felt comfortable leaving me alone on this particular night.
I relate to this protagonist right from the jump. A nerdy little boy? I was a nerd. Were you a nerdy little boy?
Well, you weren't a little boy, you were a nerdy boy.
I was a little boy. I hit a growth spurt.
You went from what, 6'1" to 7'4"?
Exactly right, yes.
How about being a homebody? Is that something you could relate to?
Being home is my favorite thing. I
know
prefer
it
being
is.
home to most other things. It's where all your stuff is.
What if that home became dangerous?
Well, then
I do not like staying at home all day. I mean, I occasionally there's some days I do stay home a lot and I like watch stuff, but like I'm more of an outdoor person. I like to explore my area and stuff. But I like to travel. I like traveling. I really want to go to Japan.
that
I would
would
love to explore Japan, bro. Oh my God.
be
That would be the dream. There'd be some creepy
My
stuff
sister
happening in
was
Japan
out
though.
of town, and my parents left
Especially
for
with
a
the
party
urban
around
legends.
4:30 p.m. As soon as they got out of the driveway, I started blasting music through the Bluetooth speaker in the
I do
living
that
room.
a lot when
I
I'm
took a
alone.
shower and put on some shorts and my favorite
Yo, this guy gets it. This is legit what I be doing at my
Friday the
crib.
13th hoodie, King of the Castle. I was living
Yes,
very
sir.
definition of living large, taking a shower and putting on some shorts.
and also blasting
Blasting
music,
music.
in your
Blasting
living
music
room.
be the
Like,
Oh, yeah.
be the
when my
shit, bro.
roommates leave, I'm doing crazy stuff all over. You know,
What are you doing? What crazy stuff
I'll
are you doing?
I'll be
Oh, let
blasting
me
Pop
guess.
Smoke.
You're popping kernels.
Some
I'm
hot,
popping
some like,
kernels, that's
like,
right.
you know,
naked.
Pop
Sure.
Smoke. Future.
Watch that oil.
Well, I know I have an oil protector. I have an oil
Blasting
cover
some
on
20
my
maybe
popper.
some 21
So
Savage.
Love to hear that.
occasionally.
maybe making some bacon and eggs or
Pop
something
Smoke
like
in
that.
Future. Young
Blasting
Thug, bro.
film
I be blasting
soundtracks
that.
as loud
And
as I
some
possibly
Uzi.
can.
I'm
Some little
imagining you
Uzi.
got the popcorn
Now I
popper
do
going
what I
over
want.
here. You're
Yeah.
Now
also
I do
making
what I
bacon
want.
and eggs for some reason. Buck ass naked. The Dunkirk soundtrack blasting.
And I have like a cowboy kind of holster strap on. In each holster is a White Claw,
To clarify, that's the.
but still naked.
All right, yeah. Hey, living large.
I was walking downstairs to put on a movie when I heard a knock at the
Ooh, I
door.
like this beat they put.
This was odd as I wasn't expecting anyone, and my family wouldn't be home for hours. I turned down my music and went to open the door. On the other side of the screen
I was
was a
messing with the
tall,
beat.
lanky man with pale skin and streaky blonde hair. He had acne and looked to be only a couple years older than me. He was holding pizza and wings from the Domino's up the road.
Whoa, hell yeah.
Free
You ever talked
food.
about Domino's?
Free
What?
food. Hey, yo, if it's free food, I'm taking it. I don't even care. I'm taking the risk. I'm taking the risk. If free food, if it smells fresh, I'm
I'm
gonna
here
take
to
it.
talk about pizza showing up at your door when you didn't even order it.
A little unnerving to me if I'm home alone. Oh, then again, I tend to be on the more paranoid side, so I would think someone's trying to poison me.
That
Order
could
for
be
Tessa,
affected.
he said.
It was just a
My
risk I'm
stomach
more than
tensed a
willing to
bit.
take.
Tessa is my mom's name, but she wasn't home.
Oh,
And
then
she
I'm-
doesn't like Domino's, so
Sorry, his mom's
why
name.
would she order this? Maybe she realized there was nothing in the fridge and ordered me dinner? Either way, I said nothing and signed for the pizza. The pizza man handed over the goods and walked back down to his car at the end of the driveway. I turned to go inside, but then I stopped. I don't know how, but I could feel him looking at me. I looked over my shoulder, and sure enough, he
be
was just
having those
standing by
sometimes.
his car door, staring at me, expressionless. I quickly turned around,
Nah.
closed the door, and locked it behind me.
Nah.
This is actually something that's quite common, weirdly, that humans have almost kind of like this unconfirmed sixth sense. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you and then you look across the street and it's like, oh yeah, that SpongeBob character on Hollywood Boulevard is looking at me?
No, but I also just sort of dance through life, I'm not too worried about what other people are, if they're looking at me or not. I have the privilege of being a giant, tall man.
I mean, if you're really tall, like him, you're definitely gonna get stares. But I like his way of going around life, like not caring about what anyone does. Just worry about yourself. Like
So
I like
I'm
that.
not
true.
too worried. If anything,
I try to
I'm
my
trying
best
to
to
make
be like
other
that.
people feel
I'm
comfortable
kind of like that. I'm like
by
almost there.
moving away from them. Because I look like the Slender Man coming down the street. I don't want to spook anybody.
DMV, did you know UMGC tuition is low cost and you pay
Really?
$0
That's cool.
for digital
That's
material?
so cool. Oh my god.
My phone started buzzing in my pocket. It was my
hate
boyfriend
that.
Jason, who conveniently lived down the street from me. We
Low-key,
had
I
been
should
dating
probably
for 2
delete it.
years, and he always called when I was alone to keep me company. This call was strange though, because he instantly asked, "Who was the man at your house?" I froze, wondering how he
He's
could have
still at
known
the
about the
crib?
pizza delivery, but then realized it was not unlike him to go on walks past my house and send me pictures of my family outside on our patio or me when I take out the trash. He must have just seen him as he walked by.
Hang on.
Huh?
Huh?
I mean, I guess it's kind of like
That's what I'm saying. What? Like that? Taking pictures of you
a
and your family?
cutesy, like, hey, I saw you outside your house. You live down the street. Take a picture of them, be like, look, I see you.
No, that's not really like I don't even not even like saying oh I mean I guess I wouldn't be too worried if someone just said, oh I just saw you somewhere, but taking a picture, that's doing too much. That's just being weird.
Cutesy little games like that,
I don't know about that, especially if you're dating.
You've never seen Sarah sitting on the balcony taking a picture of her, and then when she
No.
sees the angle at which you're looking at her, she looks up and you're like sitting there waiting like with a funny face. I've done that to Mari before.
You know what? Maybe I can excuse it because I did take a very funny photo of you once where you were very zoned in at work and you looked dead.
We talked for about 5 more minutes before I told Jason I wanted to go take a nap and hung up. I was standing in our kitchen next to a big sliding glass door that provided a convenient view from the backyard of the whole downstairs portion of the house. The sun had set, and the darkness started to press in on the glass. My stomach turned,
Nah, this is creepy.
and once again, I had the weird sense that I was being watched. People who watch this show already know I have a fear of something watching me through the windows. And if you have like a big glass door like this that kind of gives a person like a command center view of your entire house, not a good situation to be in, especially if you think there's someone creeping around.
Yeah, I'll say to my parents' credit, growing up, my dad put cameras up all around the outside of our house. So in our family room, we had like our main television where we would watch movies and stuff. And then directly next to it was a smaller monitor that showed us every single angle of the outside of our house at all times.
Man, your dad built you panic room. To distract
That's
myself,
smart.
I went into the living room and put on a scary movie. Counterintuitive.
That's probably not the best thing to do. Like if something creepy is happening and you just start putting a scary movie, that's probably not the best choice to make, buddy.
I know, but I liked
your
watching
life.
horror movies, so this was normal for me. About an hour into the film, I heard a shuffling noise on the patio. My eyes darted to the sliding glass door. I wanted to get out of view from it, but somehow the idea of taking my eyes off of it seemed even scarier. I held still for a bit to listen for more movement. But when nothing happened, tried to focus on the movie again. About 10 minutes later, I heard it again. This time, I thought I heard footsteps too. I got up, slowly. Reluctantly, I walked over to the big glass door and flipped the switch to the patio, flooding the backyard with light. Nothing. I was satisfied that there was nothing out there, but as I flipped the light off again, the darkness felt like it was pressing even closer. I walked back to the living room, feeling exposed as I turned my back to the glass door. About 5 minutes later, my phone received an airdrop from someone named Lover. I assumed it was Jason being an idiot, but when I opened it, it was a picture of me. A real-time picture of me standing in front of the big glass door in our kitchen.
I'm running. I don't even care about the crib. I'm running. I'm running. I'm dashing, bro. I'm already in the next state. This is so creepy, bro.
Looking out into our yard.
Where's Jason? Fair question. Where's Jason?
What do you?
Where
you
is
mean
his ass?
Why is he not there with him to protect his boyfriend?
What's Jason doing?
I'll tell you what he's not doing. Stopping his boyfriend from being murdered.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I nearly boiled over in anger. Jason knew I got scared easily, so creeping around outside to spook me was downright mean. I called him immediately, but he didn't pick up. I texted him, "You're such a dork. Go home, babe, or come inside," and gripped my phone tightly, waiting for some response back. I waited for a couple minutes, and my phone finally buzzed. It was Jason, and it was a snap of him getting out of the shower. My stomach dropped. I called Jason in a panic. Someone airdropped me a picture of me looking out the patio door, I told him, now fully panicking. It was only taken like 10 minutes ago. If it wasn't you, who was it? He laughed at me. I could hear his voice echoing in his bathroom. "Baby, it's probably just a prank. Could
Baby.
be just Sarah who saw you," he said. Sarah lives in the house behind ours and could see
is this a girl?
into our backyard from her room. We'd chatted across yards before, but this still felt a bit odd for her to do. Still, that felt like the only reasonable explanation.
That's not a neighborly thing to do. Neighbors should be saying, "Hey, I can see you're home alone. Don't worry, I can see your backyard quite clear from here and it looks good."
I talked to Jason for a bit longer to settle my nerves and calmed down. I went back to the couch and was able to watch the remainder of my movie without interruption. I started to relax and turned on some reality TV to zone out before I went up to bed. Just as I felt my eyes starting to close, my phone buzzed again. It was another photo from Lover. This time, the photo was taken from the patio itself, looking in through the big glass door. I could see myself distantly sitting, looking at the TV in the living room. I felt a prickling up the base of my spine, and all my hair stood on end, hoping that Jason was right and that this was some kind of sick joke.
Back in 2022, I lost two very important people in my life. Big figures. It really wasn't until
I sent back a photo of myself holding up my middle finger with the caption, "Nice try, Sarah." As soon as I sent it, I realized something that made my blood
Is this a
curdle.
dude or a guy? I'm confused.
Sarah doesn't have an iPhone.
Ah, she has an Android.
This is why I would have a scarecrow in my back.
Yo, don't get heated, Android users. It's just a meme. It's just a joke. Her messages are lime green.
Yard, because what I would do is I would walk outside into the backyard, stare directly into the direction of this person for a good minute or two, just like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would unsheath my katana,
Oh, you got that katana.
and in the same motion, dismember the head of that scarecrow. It would be so clean. It's like one of the things where the head gets cut off, but it like doesn't even fall off immediately. It's like,
Yeah, this guy's out there in the bush being like, that wasn't scary. It just made the head move a little bit, and the head's like, "Chaka-kong," and then,
exactly.
oh, I better go.
Not only do I
What?
scare this guy into leaving my yard, but now my plants are fertilized because he's probably pooing himself, realizing he's dealing with
right.
a fucking samurai, baby.
You're gonna have some juicy tomatoes come harvesting time, I'll tell you that.
Before I could completely comprehend what was happening, another photo came through. This time, it was just a photo of a knife with the caption, "No cops." I froze. I felt my face flush with panic. Someone was coming after me.
Ah, nah.
I felt like I was in a
That's why you need a strap or something to protect you, bro. Like at least have like a gun by your side at any point, cause you know if they break in, it's all fair game at that point, cause they're breaking in your
horror
crib.
film. Without losing another moment, I ran to the kitchen and closed the
This
blinds
reminds me
and
of
sprinted
Scream.
around the bottom
That's probably
floor,
what this story is
checking
based off.
every single lock I could
So
get
it probably
to.
isn't true.
My phone buzzed
This story
again.
probably isn't real.
It was a close-up of my face through the kitchen window. I screamed and dropped my phone. My heart was racing. I was covered in sweat and uncontrollably shaking. I grabbed a large knife from our knife block next to the stove and picked up my phone. The only thing I could think to do was protect myself. I screamed again loudly, hoping a neighbor would hear, and ran upstairs to my bathroom, locking myself inside. I sat down in the dark and started to sob uncontrollably. I struggled to catch my breath without making any noise. I texted Jason what was happening and sent him the pictures. He called me. I answered, trying to stay as quiet as I could. "Jason, help me, I'm scared," I whispered. "Stay where you are, I'm getting help." He was breathing heavily. During the call, I received another photo. I accepted it with tears streaming down my face. It was a silhouette of a person clothed in black, holding a brick in an outstretched hand.
That boy about to break in. He about to break in.
They were standing on my patio.
He about to break in.
I shrieked and dropped my phone.
Get
I
the
could
fuck
hear
out of the
Jason
crib.
still trying to ask what had happened. They were coming for me. I heard an explosive shattering of glass. I had run out of time. First off, this killer must have watched the film Scream, because
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is basically all Scream.
I'm gonna
like
say
Scream.
it's quite Scream-like. The airdrop is sort of the modern day spooky phone call in a way.
It is kinda, yeah.
If Ghostface were operating now,
Yes,
this
he
is
would
what
be
he'd
airdropping.
do. You know that guy would be texting.
The first picture that gets sent of my significant other by someone that's not me, I'm driving down there, especially if I live down the block from this person.
Yeah.
Not to shit on Jason here, but I'm just saying that's what I would do. And guess what's gonna be in its holster? A fucking katana, because that's what's gonna happen.
Until it's out of its holster, you know what I'm talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Because, baby, that metal is thirsty.
And sometimes I gotta quench it, okay?
Oh, you gotta quench it.
Whoever this was, they were now inside the house. My head started spinning as I started to feel my reality sinking in. I was going to die. I never got to live the life I wanted. Get married, have kids. Hell, I never even got my license. I silenced my phone, trying to stay as quiet as possible by slowing my breathing. The final photo appeared, and there he was, the pizza man, standing in my dining room, holding a
Oh, that looks creepy. He looks like the one thing from Lord of the Rings, the little my precious. That's what he looks like, but like a bloated up version. Yo, if I saw this, bro, me, I feel like I will attack it head on. Cause like, if I just stay in hiding, my fear grows higher. But if I just run for it, you know, it's just like that burst of adrenaline, just pow,
knife in his
go and attack
hand,
him.
smiling. My face went numb. I heard the wood creak from his steps downstairs. Frantically, I stood up and opened the blinds of the bathroom window, hoping to see someone on the street. Nobody. I thought about trying to climb through the window, but there would be nothing to break my fall but the hard driveway 1 story below. My racing mind was snapped back to reality by the sound of wood creaking loudly as the pizza man climbed up the stairs.
It's not very scary to say, as the pizza man climbed the stairs.
Yeah, I know. Like if I had like a creepy call and I was like, what's your name? Why are you doing this? And he goes, I'm the pizza man.
I'd be like, cool.
I know you're about to murder me. Can we workshop this a little bit? I don't want it in the papers that I got killed by the pizza man.
Full admission here, I
Change the
forgot
name.
about the pizza man. When you
Me too.
said it was the pizza man, I was like, oh yeah, that guy.
The guy from the first act. Every single time. I picked up the knife I had and aimed it towards the door. Each step he took sent chills through my body as I tried to brace myself, trying not to collapse. I was both numb and raw, adrenaline masking everything but his heavy plodding steps. I heard him reach the landing at the top of the stairs. I felt myself backing away from the door as far as I could, pressing in.
My man looks stressed the fuck out. But like, who wouldn't be? Like, I'll deadass be balled up like this. But yet again, I also would have just go attack him. Because it's like, it's fair game. Like, GG's. Like, if I die, I die. But at least I'm going to go down with a fight. I'm not going to stay and ball up, you know? Let's say I was a gun, then that's different. That's like, GG's on you.
Into the tub. And then, it was silent. I couldn't hear his movement. I couldn't hear any movement. Suddenly, the doorknob started to slowly turn. It halted against the lock. I waited. He waited. A long moment of silence.
Run Windows on Mac and open a world with no limits.
My heart pounded in my ears. I screamed, "Go away, leave me alone." He started to laugh, low and rough. He sounded nothing like the gawky boy from before.
Oh, okay. I guess I was imagining like a ho 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 ho.
Oh, oh, oh. That's how I'm
You
actually.
sound like Alan Rickman in Die Hard. Now I have a machine gun. Ha, ha.
Oh, oh.
What if this guy
That
just
hurts
laughed
so
like
tough.
Seth Rogen outside there? With no alternative, I went for the window, trying to break it with the knife I held, but accidentally sliced my arm. I gasped in pain.
Slice your
I
own
looked
arm.
over and saw the knob turning again,
This man's not ready to battle. He's not ready to go in battle. He just sliced his own arm.
and the door straining against its frame as he pushed against it, trying to get in. Acting purely on instinct, I dropped to the floor and peered under the door. His foot braced him as he pressed into the door, cursing at the knob.
Always funny to imagine him being like, this fucking thing sucks. I'm trying to murder.
I grabbed my knife and stabbed with all my strength into the side of his boot.
There you
I
go.
heard him shriek in surprise and stumble back from the door. I seized my chance. I jumped up, unlocked the door, and ran as fast as I could. He swung at me, his knife slicing into my hand that protected my head as I sprinted. I could feel the pain spreading up my arm, but didn't look up. I leapt down the stairs, ran barefoot through the broken glass, out into the yard.
Barefoot is
I
crazy.
threw open the fence and ran out to the street. Holy shit.
Yo, that's just a lot that just happened. He went through bare glass, bare feet. That's crazy.
It's a lot. We got a little Annie Lennox situation over here. A little stab in there. That's fun. Love a little stab.
It's a tough day at the office for this murderer.
Yeah.
Thwarted by a common bathroom doorknob and then got stabbed right in the side of a foot.
I like that he just apparently didn't plan for there to be doors in this house. Are you not like a bead family here? I was expecting beads. I'm also imagining a knife going into the side of a boot. That seems like a bad stab. Not that there's a good stab out there. There's not a place on my body where I'm like, yeah, stab me
Oh,
there,
yeah,
please.
yeah.
Stab me, daddy. You know, I don't want that.
Hey,
I'm
yo.
imagining a knife going directly into the side of my foot.
I'll one up you. You
Ew.
know what's even worse? The knife going into the boot, but at an angle so that it slices the back of your Achilles. And now you're just like,
That's GG's, bro. Achilles is like that one spot you don't want to mess up, because then you won't be able to walk for.
Or
Or
now I'm
more,
also
or run.
imagining it going directly like into the toes, like straight into the toes.
Oh.
Nah, this is making.
That's also bad.
This guy said, I heard him shriek in surprise. I wonder what he shrieked. Do you think he was like, oh, shit? Why would you do that? Zoinks.
Me supposed to stab, not you.
When I got there, 2 cops pulled up with Jason and his dad. I started
Oh,
screaming for
finally.
help and collapsed to my knees. Jason's dad scooped me up, and the 2 cops ran around the back. He put me in their car with Jason, and we waited for an ambulance with some neighbors who wrapped cloth around my feet and hands. Minutes later, the 2 cops emerged with the handcuffed pizza guy, his right leg limping and bleeding. He stared at me as they brought him to the squad car and put him in. I felt his cold eyes more than I could feel my own pain. The ambulance arrived, and they started treating my cuts. And finally, I felt myself fully let go and sob. My parents arrived a few minutes later, and I've never seen my stepdad cry so much. He was this big, tough macho man, so seeing him break down, I knew how scared he was for me. They ran over to the ambulance and hugged me tightly. They sat in shock as I told them everything that happened. They blamed themselves, but I never did. As for the pizza man, according to the police, he was a child predator who used his job to find victims at home alone.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh, fuck them child predators, bro. That's disgusting.
They grabbed him going through my closet upstairs after I'd run out. We watched the cops drive him away, and all the while, he never broke his gaze at me.
Damn.
So, are you
This is
scared?
fake. This is fake. Cause this sounds just like the plot of Scream. Not exactly, but you know, it's very similar elements.
In the end, Jason did what he was supposed to do. He went and got help.
Jason, you are back in my good graces.
In fact, an apology
Jason
is in
did it.
order. I am sorry.
I apologize to you,
Jason's
Jason.
actually
Let's
a
find
dummy.
out now if this is a true story. Phone Stalker was submitted to us for this show by
It's not.
Julian Hernandez
It's not.
and is an experienced story. So this is a true
What?
story.
No!
This shit sounds something out of
Holy shit.
Scream.
Very horrifying that this is true. Really sorry to the narrator. That fucking sucks. That certainly
Yeah.
is a hell of a way to end this season. Holy shit. There's some crazy people out there, folks.
Damn. Were you scared? Comment down below if you were scared. Like if you want. Subscribe. And yeah, have a good one.